My fiancée believed walking away ended my momentum. I stayed disciplined, multiplied income fast, seized leverage, transformed visibly, and turned her exit into a front-row seat of regret she didn't anticipate. "You're not the man I thought you were becoming." Those words hit me across the dinner table like a slap I never saw coming. My fiancée sat there, arms crossed, her engagement ring catching the restaurant's dim lighting. She wasn't yelling. She was calm. Too calm. That's when I knew this wasn't just another argument. "I need someone who's already there," she continued, her voice steady. "Not someone who might get there someday." Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. I'm 29. She's 27. We'd been together for 4 years, engaged for 8 months. I thought we were building something. Apparently, she thought I was wasting her time. "Already where?" I asked, keeping my voice level even though my pulse was hammering. She sighed like I was proving her point. "Successful. Established. Secure. I ran my own digital marketing consultancy. It wasn't making 6 figures yet, but it was growing. Steady growth. Sustainable growth. I'd left my corporate job 18 months earlier to build it. She'd supported that decision. Or so I thought. "I'm building a business," I said. "You knew that. We talked about this." "I know what you told me," she replied. "But it's been a year and a half. I see my friends' partners. They have houses. They take vacations. They're not grinding at midnight every night." Her air quotes around grinding felt like mockery. "Those guys inherited their dad's businesses or lucked into promotions," I said. "I'm building from scratch." "Maybe that's the problem." The waiter approached our table, sensed the tension, and backed away without a word. "Smart guy? What are you saying?" I asked, though part of me already knew. She reached across the table. For a second, I thought she was reaching for my hand. Instead, she slid the engagement ring off her finger and placed it on the white tablecloth between us. "I'm saying I can't wait anymore." The ring sat there like a tiny grenade. "You're ending this? Over money?" "It's not about money," she said, but her tone said otherwise. "It's about ambition. Drive. Being with someone who's actually going somewhere." "I'm going somewhere." "When?" she asked. "In 5 years? 10. I'll be in my 30s. I want a life now." I stared at her, trying to recognize the woman I'd planned to marry. "This is really happening," I said, more to myself than her. "I've already moved my things out," she replied. "Most of them, anyway. I'll get the rest this weekend." She'd planned this. This wasn't a heat-of-the-moment decision. She'd been checked out for weeks, maybe months, and I'd been too buried in client work to notice. "Who is he?" I asked. Her eyes widened slightly. "Excuse me. You don't end a 4-year relationship and move out in the same week unless there's someone else." She had the decency to look uncomfortable. "His name is Derek. He's a senior partner at the law firm where I work. And yes, before you ask, something developed. But that's not why I'm leaving." "Right. I'm leaving because you're not enough. Derek is just proof that I deserve better." I should have been angry. I should have made a scene. Instead, I felt this weird clarity settle over me. "Okay," I said. "Okay. Yeah. If that's how you feel, then okay. I'm not going to beg." She looked almost disappointed, like she'd expected more of a fight. "That's it. What do you want me to say? You've made your decision. You've already got someone else. You've moved out. What's left to discuss?" She stood up, grabbed her purse. "I hope you figure things out," she said. It sounded like pity. I watched her walk away through the restaurant. The waiter finally approached. "Just the check," I told him. I paid for a dinner we barely touched and drove home to an apartment that felt emptier than it had any right to. Her stuff was gone. Not all of it, but enough that the space looked hollowed out. I sat on the couch in the dark for maybe an hour. Then I opened my laptop. If she wanted to see Drive, I'd show her what Drive actually looked like. I pulled up my client list, my pipeline, my revenue projections. I'd been playing it safe. Steady growth, like I said, but steady doesn't turn heads. I started making a list. High-value clients I'd been too nervous to pitch. Services I could add. Pricing I could increase. Partnerships I could pursue. I worked until 4 in the morning. The next day, I sent 15 cold emails to companies I'd researched but never approached. Big companies. The kind with marketing budgets that could change my entire trajectory. 3 responded within 24 hours. 1 wanted a call that week. I took the call. Pitched a 6-month strategy package I'd designed overnight. They asked for a proposal. I sent it the same day. They signed a week later. $48,000. Single contract. More than I'd made in any quarter before. I didn't tell anyone. I just kept moving. Another client signed. Then another. I hired a contractor to handle overflow work. Then another contractor. Within 2 months, I had a team. Small, but functional. I raised my rates across the board. Lost 2 clients who balked at the increase. Signed 4 new ones at the higher rate within 3 weeks. My ex used to complain that I worked too much. Now I worked even more, but differently. Smarter. Focused on high-impact tasks. Delegated everything else. I started waking up at 5. Gym by 5:30. I'd let myself go a bit during the relationship. Not badly, but enough. Now I was in the gym 6 days a week. Lifting heavy. Eating clean. I dropped 15 pounds in 2 months. Put on muscle. Started dressing better. Not for anyone else. For me. Because when you look good, you feel good. And when you feel good, you perform better. It's that simple. By month 4, my revenue had tripled. I moved out of the apartment we'd shared. Got a place downtown. Better building. Better view. Better everything. I ran into one of her friends at a coffee shop around that time. Melissa. We'd hung out as couples a few times. Oh my God. Hey, she said, her eyes scanning me like she wasn't sure I was the same person. Hey, Melissa. You look really good. Different. Thanks. Been staying busy. I heard about the breakup. I'm sorry. She didn't sound sorry. She sounded curious. It is what it is, I said. She's with Derek now? They're pretty serious, I think. Good for her. Melissa tilted her head. You're really okay? Better than okay, honestly. The breakup lit a fire. Best thing that could have happened. Her expression shifted. Wow. I'll tell her I saw you. You do that. I knew Melissa would run straight to my ex with a full report. That was fine. Let her hear it. 2 weeks later, my ex texted me. First contact since the restaurant. Hey, Melissa said she saw you. Said you're doing well. I stared at the message for a solid minute. Didn't reply. She sent another text an hour later. I still have some mail coming to the old place. Can I pick it up? I don't live there anymore. I replied. Oh, where are you now? Does it matter? 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. I was just asking. I didn't respond. She tried calling the next day. I declined it. She left a voicemail. Hey, it's me. I just wanted to catch up, see how you're doing. I know things ended badly. Maybe we could grab coffee or something. Just to talk. As friends. I deleted it. Month 6 post-breakup, I signed my biggest client yet. A national retail chain. 6-figure annual contract. I celebrated by buying a car I'd had my eye on for years. Nothing crazy. A clean, low-mileage BMW. Used, but pristine. I posted a photo on social media. Just the car, caption, earned, not given. My ex liked the post within minutes. Then she'd met me. Nice car. You've really been killing it lately. Thanks, I replied. I've been thinking about you. I left her on read. She followed up the next day. Can we please talk? I feel like we left things in a bad place. You left things in a bad place, I typed back. I just moved on. I made a mistake. There it was. I could have ignored it. Should have, maybe. But I wanted to hear her say it. What kind of mistake? I asked. Can we meet in person? I don't want to do this over text. Against my better judgment, I agreed. We met at a different restaurant. Neutral ground. She walked in looking nervous. I was already seated, wearing a tailored suit I'd picked up the week before. I had a meeting with a potential investor right after. She sat down, and I could see her taking in the differences. The suit, the watch, the confident posture. You look incredible, she said. Thank you. Silence stretched between us. So I said, you wanted to talk. She fidgeted with her napkin. I think I made a huge mistake letting you go. You didn't let me go. You traded up, remember? Derek, the senior partner. She winced. That didn't work out. Sorry to hear that. I wasn't. He was not what I thought. Controlling. Condescending. Made me feel small. That's unfortunate. I realized what I had with you. How good you were to me. How much you actually cared. I leaned back in my chair. Past tense. Had. Were. Did. It doesn't have to be past tense, she said, reaching across the table. I didn't take her hand. Yeah, it does. Why? We were good together. We could be good again. We weren't good together, I said. You didn't respect me. You didn't believe in me. You bailed the second things required patience. I was scared, she said. I was worried about the future. And now I see what you've built. What you're becoming. I was wrong. You see what I've built, I repeated. That's the problem. She looked confused. You don't want me, I continued. You want what I've become. You want the success, the money, the lifestyle. You didn't want me when I was grinding at midnight. You wanted me when the grind paid off. That's not fair, isn't it? You left because I wasn't already there. Now I'm getting there, and suddenly you want back in. That's not love. That's opportunism." Her eyes started to water. "I did love you. Maybe. But not enough. Not when it mattered. People make mistakes. Can't I have a second chance?" I thought about it. Really thought about it. "No," I said finally. "Because I don't trust you. If things got hard again, you'd leave again. You showed me exactly who you are when the pressure's on. I've changed. So have I. I changed because I had to. You changed because your backup plan failed." That landed hard. She wiped her eyes. "So that's it. You've just moved on. Completely. Are you seeing someone?" "That's none of your business." I wasn't actually. Too focused on building. But I wasn't about to give her that information. "I still care about you," she said quietly. "I appreciate that. But caring isn't enough. It wasn't enough when you left, and it's not enough now." I stood up. "I have a meeting. Take care of yourself." I left her sitting there, walked out of the restaurant, and didn't look back. My investor meeting went well. They wanted in on a new venture I was planning. Expansion into video content production for brands. We shook hands on a preliminary agreement. I drove home feeling lighter than I had in months. My phone buzzed that night. Another text from her. "I understand why you can't forgive me. I just want you to know that seeing who you've become makes me proud, even if I can't be part of it. You proved me wrong about everything. I hope you find someone who deserves you." I read it twice. Then I blocked her number. Not out of anger. Out of closure. She was a chapter that ended. No reason to keep reading it. 3 months later, I hired employee number 5. Real employees, not contractors. Full-time, with benefits. My company had a name now, an office, a reputation. I got invited to speak at a marketing conference. Agreed to do it. Stood on stage in front of 300 people and talked about building a business from scratch. About resilience. About betting on yourself. Someone in the audience asked how I stayed motivated during the hard times. I had someone tell me I'd never make it. I said that I wasn't enough. I used that as fuel. Every rejection, every setback, I remembered those words. And I made damn sure to prove them wrong. The room applauded. After the panel, people wanted to network. Wanted my card. Wanted to collaborate. One woman approached me. Mid-30s, confident, sharp. "That was a great talk," she said. "Authentic." "Thank you. I run a marketing firm in Seattle. We should discuss a partnership. I think our companies could complement each other." We talked for 20 minutes. Exchanged information. She wasn't flirting. This was pure business. But I noticed she wasn't wearing a ring. And I noticed she noticed I wasn't either. "We should grab dinner next time you're in Seattle," she said. "To discuss the partnership properly." "I'd like that." She smiled and walked away. I stood there thinking about how much had changed. A year ago, I was getting dumped in a restaurant. Now I was fielding partnership offers and maybe, possibly, getting asked out by successful women. All because someone didn't believe in me. I pulled out my phone and opened Instagram. My ex had unblocked me at some point. Her profile was public. I scrolled through recent posts. Pictures with friends. Solo shots with captions about self-love and new beginnings. No Derek. No new guy. Just her, trying to project happiness. The comments were supportive. Friends hyping her up. But I could read between the lines. She was where I'd been a year ago. Rebuilding. Starting over. Trying to figure out what went wrong. I closed the app. Not out of spite. I just didn't care anymore. Her life wasn't my concern. Mine was. I thought about texting the woman from Seattle. Decided against it. Too soon. But I saved her contact. Added a note. Partnership opportunity. Smart. Interesting. Maybe something would come of it. Maybe not. Either way, I was good. My company crossed $1 million in annual revenue that quarter. I took my team out to celebrate. Rented a private room at a nice steakhouse. Gave everyone bonuses. Thanked them for believing in the vision. One of my employees, Nathan, raised his glass. To the boss who actually gives a damn. Everyone cheered. I looked around the table at these people who'd taken a chance on a startup. Who'd worked late nights and trusted me to lead. This was the team my ex never believed I'd build. This was the success she said I'd never achieve. And she was right about one thing. I wasn't the man she thought I was becoming. I was better. I drove home that night and sat in my apartment. My nice apartment. With my nice car parked downstairs. And my thriving business. And my team. And my future. All built on the ashes of a relationship that wasn't strong enough to survive the fire. I opened my laptop and checked my calendar. Meetings booked solid for the next 2 weeks. A speaking engagement next month. A podcast interview the week after. I was living the life she said I'd never achieve. And the best part? She got a watch from the sidelines. Not because I rubbed it in her face. Not because I posted constantly or tried to make her jealous, but because success is loud even when you're trying to be quiet about it. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. Hey, it's Melissa. I know this is random, but she asked me to reach out. She's really struggling. I think she realizes what she lost. Would you consider just talking to her? One conversation. I stared at the message. Typed out a reply. Deleted it. Typed another. No thanks. I wish her well, but that door is closed. Please don't reach out on her behalf again. Sent. Blocked that number too. I wasn't being cruel. I was being clear. Some decisions are final. Some bridges, once burned, don't get rebuilt. She made her choice when she handed back that ring. I made mine when I decided to prove her wrong. We both got what we wanted. She got to see who I'd become. I got to become it without her. A month later, the woman from Seattle flew to my city. We had dinner, discussed the partnership, signed a preliminary agreement. Then we had drinks, talked about things that had nothing to do with business. She told me about her divorce 3 years back, how it broke her, how she rebuilt. I told her about my breakup, how it lit a fire I didn't know I had. Sounds like we both needed to lose something to find ourselves, she said. Maybe that's the only way it works. She smiled. Maybe. We didn't exchange numbers that night. We already had each other's. But something shifted. A possibility opened up. No rush. No pressure. Just two people who'd been through hell and come out stronger. I flew to Seattle 3 weeks later. Business trip. But I extended it a day. We had dinner again. This time, it definitely wasn't just business. When I flew home, I felt something I hadn't felt in over a year. Hope. Not desperate hope. Grounded hope. The kind built on solid foundation instead of shaky promises. My ex texted from a new number a few days later. I heard you're seeing someone. I'm happy for you. Really. I hope she appreciates what she has. I almost didn't reply, but something made me. Thanks. And for what it's worth, I hope you find what you're looking for too. Just not with me. Her response came fast. I know. I just needed to hear you say it. Closure, I guess. Then consider this closure. Take care. You too. That was the last time we communicated. No drama. No big blow-up. Just a quiet ending to something that should have ended quietly the first time. I deleted the thread. Moved on. For real this time. 6 months later, I proposed to the woman from Seattle. Not because I was rushing, but because when you know, you know. And I knew. She said yes. We got married 8 months after that. Small ceremony. Close friends and family. My team was there. Her team was there. It was perfect. Someone asked me during the reception if I ever thought about my ex. Sometimes, I admitted, but only to remind myself how far I've come. Do you think she knows you got married? Probably. Mutual friends, social media, all that. But it doesn't matter. Doesn't it bother you? That she might see you're happy. I looked at my wife across the room, laughing with her sister. No, I said. Because this isn't about her. It never was. She was just the catalyst. The spark that lit the fuse. What came after was all me. And that was the truth. She didn't destroy me when she left. She freed me. Freed me to become the version of myself I never would have found if she'd stayed. The version who didn't need validation, who didn't need permission, who just needed a reason to go all in. She gave me that reason the night she slid that ring across the table. And I took it and ran. Built an empire she said I'd never build. Became the man she said I'd never be. Found love she said I didn't deserve. Not to spite her. Not to prove her wrong. But because once you realize someone's opinion of you is just that, an opinion, you're unstoppable. My company hit 8 figures last year. We're on track to double that this year. I have a wife who believes in me, even when I doubt myself. A team that would run through walls for the vision. A life that looks nothing like what I planned, but exactly like what I needed. And somewhere out there, my ex is living her life. I genuinely hope she's happy. I hope she found what she was looking for. But mostly, I just don't think about it anymore. Because the best revenge isn't rubbing success in someone's face. It's building a life so full that they become a footnote in your story instead of a chapter. She thought walking away would end my momentum. Instead, it launched it. She wanted a front row seat to someone else's success. She got one, just not the way she expected. And that's the thing about giving up on people too early. You don't get to come back when they prove you wrong. You just get to watch from a distance, wondering what if. Living with the consequences of underestimating someone who refused to underestimate themselves. I don't regret the relationship. It taught me what I don't want, what I won't accept, what I'm worth. And sometimes the most valuable lessons come from the people who leave. They show you exactly who you are when no one's watching, when no one believes, when you're all you've got. That's when you find out what you're made of. I found out I'm made of steel. forged in the fire of rejection, tempered by discipline, sharpened by purpose. She thought she was trading up. She was actually setting me free. And I took that freedom and built something she'll spend the rest of her life regretting she didn't get to be part of. Not because I'm cruel, but because I'm human. And humans remember who believed in them. And who didn't. She didn't. So she doesn't get to celebrate with me now. Simple as that. The end.